right, let's get into it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Brick by Brick. This is a podcast where we feature a different fan of OpTic Gaming, a different member of the Green Wall. With every episode, we get to know them, we get to know their story of how they fell in love with OpTic, what makes OpTic special, and all that sort of stuff. Today we have Momobroh joining us. He is a Twitch affiliate. He's a mod for a few people within the community. I'll let him talk about that in just a second when he introduces himself. But we're going to get to know him, and throughout the series, we're going to know as many Green Wall members as possible. You want to go ahead and give yourself a little introduction?
Yeah, so my gamer tag is Momobroh, and yeah, everything you said is true. I've been a Green Wall fan for a really long time, since Black Ops 2, and
Okay.
yeah.
And you're a mod for how many people in the community?
I couldn't count honestly, but those are the really important ones, the ones in my bio. So like the Scump one, I'm the most proud of, and like my favorite. Been watching him for so long.
So,
but yeah, Dashy, Slasher.
Okay, so we got Scump, Dashy, Slasher, Arcitys, Prestinni, Wuskinz, BoZe, Gunless, and Cheen, MJCheen. That's a lot of people, and there's more outside of that list.
Yeah, but
those
not
are just
pro
the important ones.
Yeah, not pro players. Other ones are just like small streamers or streamers that I like.
Damn,
that are like AMs.
It's a lot of people. Caught my attention, obviously, especially when you have Scump and Dashy, and there's like the first two. I was like, okay, yeah, let's get this guy on. You kind of said that you've been an OpTic fan since 2000, probably 12 or 13. We'll get into that in just a moment. But if you've listened to an episode, which you said you've listened to a couple of them, I do start off every episode with the same question, which is, what does OpTic and the Green Wall mean to you as a fan, as someone that's been watching, especially for the amount of time that you have, which I think is longer than a lot of the fan base now? What's OpTic mean to you?
So for me, it's a family and it's a community. Any player or content creator that joins OpTic, X always has their back even when they leave. So it's definitely a family, and everyone's treated like everyone in OpTic's always treated their fans like family, like a close-knit community. So yeah, it's really a family.
Yeah, that's what I've said in pretty much every episode as well. Like, for me, when I first started watching them, that was the number one thing that stood out, and it mostly stems from Hex. And throughout the years, it's just shown itself over and over again. I think most recently and maybe like most impactfully with the whole Maniac thing that went down. Like, Hex really showed that he is a different owner, a different CEO than a lot of people, at least in this space. So let's get into it a little bit further. Okay, you said you've been watching since Black Ops 2. Go into detail. Give us a little bit about your background. Like, when did you first start watching them? Did you start watching them for competitive reasons, for sniper reasons? Anything like that. Just give us a little breakdown on your background with OpTic.
Okay, so I would say I was in grade 6 when I saw a kid play zombies on his Black Ops, and it was a Black Ops 1 map on his phone, right? And then so I didn't really think of that much of it. So then next year I started hearing, oh, Black Ops, Black Ops, Black Ops. I was like, what is this? So I go and I buy it, and then my friends tell me to get it. So I go to a store, I buy my PlayStation, I get Black Ops 2, and I start playing with them. So for me, it was kind of different because I hopped into competitive right away. They made me start playing League Play right away. So then I was garbage, obviously, because I hadn't touched a controller in my life because I wasn't really into video games.
So when he first like kind of heard of Call of Duty, it was a guy playing zombies.
Yeah, in my grade 6 class, yeah.
And then like all your friends, they pull you in for competitive reasons?
Yeah, the next year.
Okay,
yep.
Gotcha.
Yeah, they loved League Play, so they told me to get it. So I got it, played League Play. I was garbage. So naturally, I went on YouTube, searched up how to get better. And who pops up? Scump. It was a Scump video. I don't fully remember, but it was definitely a Scump video teaching you how to get better.
Oh, and he was on the content grind too?
Yeah, so right away, I'm into Nadeshot and Scump. And so, yeah, I just hopped into competitive straight.
That is a little bit different, especially given like the era. Because for
Yeah.
me, like I started watching pretty early on in MW2, and it was definitely all sniping first. Like
Yeah.
imagine basically your story, but if all your friends that wanted to get you into it were super into sniping and
Yeah.
montages, like they immediately pulled me into that scene. Taught me how to quick scope, and I started looking up tutorials like how to quick scope. I remember like one of the first things I did to practice centering was put the little tape on your screen and like draw the little crosshair dot on it.
Oh yeah.
I did that for a long time until I was like really comfortable with it. And then in Black Ops 2, end of Modern Warfare 3, beginning of Black Ops 2 is when I started to see the competitive side come out.
Yep.
But it's kind of cool that you were like immediately brought into the competitive scene.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming have followed it pretty closely this whole time.
Yeah, so my friends loved League play, so I hopped into it right away, and yeah, and I just started watching Scump and Aid, and then they plugged in their live streams and their videos, so then I went to their live streams and I started watching those, and then yeah, it just spiraled from there, and I just kept watching and watching and watching, and here we are now, still watching Scump.
I'm assuming that's how you get the mod spot for Scump as well, just being in there for so long at this
Yeah,
point.
for so
How
long,
long have you
yep.
been modding for him?
So he actually modded me when he returned to Twitch from MLG TV. So this is like Black Ops 4, like right at the
Okay,
start of Black Ops 4. Yeah, that
gotcha.
one.
So still a few years now.
Yeah.
Damn, MLG TV ran that long, huh?
Mm-hmm.
That's so weird. It had potential. Like I understand why they did it. It just
Yeah.
obviously didn't work out that well. But I remember like the
Yeah, no.
transition when they started doing the exclusive like MLG rights.
Mhm.
Oh man, that was a fun time. Interesting time for Call of Duty to say the least.
Yeah, Scump was so happy to be back on Twitch.
Yeah. Like it made sense that they did it. It just wasn't executed that well. But
Yeah.
I mean, it's so early. Like we're only in year 2 of the league, and this was already a few years like
Yeah, but they
it.
executed everything else really well. Thank God for
Yeah.
MLG, because all those events, they were perfectly scheduled. Production was amazing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I missed those MLG events.
So let me ask this: have you been to an event? I'm assuming yes.
I have not because
No.
I know because I live in like Northwest Canada, so everything is really
Oh
far from me.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, and I'm
yep,
sure there's at that point you're traveling to a different country as well.
yep. So my
Which
parents just don't think it's worth it because you have to pay for the flight, the event tickets, hotel,
yeah,
food. It's just too
you'd have to
much.
like you'd have to find
Save
a
up big
handful of
time.
people
Yeah,
to like split costs with or something.
yeah.
Like go in with like 4 to 6 other people in a hotel room or something.
Yeah, so another part that plays into it is that all those friends that got me into League play, they stopped playing right away. So they're like they moved on with their lives, I guess. And I'm still
Defined
here in
right
OpTic
away,
10.
like the next year, like
Yeah, so COD Ghost didn't have a good League play, so they just
and
left.
so
They
they
were
just
just like,
bounced.
yeah, they just bounced. They were like, yeah,
Ghosts. I mean, it had the like public competitive playlist, but there was no ranks, correct?
yeah, it wasn't a really good. It was just like Clan Wars, and you would play
Yeah,
pubs. Yeah, it was just
that's right. Like I
weird.
remember they had a ranked list, but as far as like rule sets go and game modes, but I don't think there was any actual rank to it.
Yeah, I don't think
I
so.
kind of miss competitive Ghosts. I look back at it and I'm like, dude, we dogged on that game so hard. It was actually a lot of fun.
I actually hated that game, but SND was like the best
Mm,
part about the only good part in my
Dude,
opinion
I
about that
really
game.
like Cranked as just like a pub game mode. Cranked was just fun.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah, Frank was cool. You get
but
faster every time you get a kill.
yeah, and you only had like 6 seconds or something to keep the streak alive, or else you blow up.
Yeah.
It was just like a fun, different game mode. But yeah, I remember like really hating that game, and I played. That's probably the game I played like the most GBs on and
Yeah.
stuff, and like probably the game I watched the most.
Yeah, see, that's probably why you love it. But since my friends left, I had no one to play GBs with, so that was just the
Yeah,
worst game for me.
but like I
Yeah.
look back and like, man, I was not having a good time. But now looking, I'm like, dude, that game was. Like how did Scump put it? He said like Ghost was the worst boots on the ground game and still better than every jetpack game.
Yeah.
Like So true. And S&D actually was pretty goated. Like,
Yeah, I guess it just depends on what your experience was
I
in
honestly
that
think it's
year.
SND was the saving grace. Because like if I
Yeah,
really look back, domination, trash, blitz, I would rather have blitz than control. I
the
really
maps
don't
looked
like blitz,
miserable.
or I really don't like control. But like
Yeah,
domination sucked and there wasn't hardpoint.
yeah,
It's like
and the
really
maps were so dark and gloomy, bro.
yeah. I miss Warhawk S&D.
It was cool watching Nade play Blitz though, his sneaky plays.
Dude, he was a sneaky guy.
Yeah, I loved his plays.
All right, so do you still play competitive league and league play and stuff like that now?
Yeah,
Or
I play League play almost every day with my. Thankfully, I met some online friends that
yeah. I'm like, I
are
mean
beasts.
you're obviously pretty involved in the community, so I'm sure you've got a squad
Yeah, I have a
now.
squad. Yeah, and they're
Yeah.
beasts. Good people. Good at COD. Love playing with them.
Good. Good. So let me ask this, which we kind of already talked about, I guess, as far as like what does OpTic mean to you? But like what makes, in your opinion, what makes OpTic special from other organizations? Like, especially in today's day and age, like, why would somebody or yourself be an OpTic fan versus a FaZe fan or like 100 Thieves, two other, big powerhouses when it comes to content and stuff?
It's got to be the content, vision series like that, and now they
Yeah.
have process. Yeah, it's got to be those, and then just yeah, their content and their personalities are always so good. Like Maniac is hilarious, Bruce is
Dude.
hilarious, Scump is hilarious, and
Dude,
they're beast.
Formal.
Yeah,
Formal's
Formal's like
hilarious.
Formal's turned up. He used to be a quiet guy.
Who knew?
Yeah.
I don't think he was a quiet guy. I think that he's always been
Um.
like this. He just didn't show it on camera as much.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I want
He
to
might have
say
just
if
not
you
been
look at the
comfortable.
dynasty team, dude, he had to have been that funny back then too. You don't just develop humor like that.
Yeah. I don't know. I
I
I
don't
really don't
know.
remember him being that
I just don't
outspoken
think he
and
was.
hilarious back then.
I feel like he was like a sleeper.
Yeah.
Like, dude,
Maybe
his
he just got more comfortable on camera
or
over
is it?
time.
Yeah, that's got to be it. Because he
Yeah.
is, dude. Every single piece of content he's in now, like, dude, that guy's got jokes.
Yeah. He's so funny.
um, I would agree though, as far as like what makes OpTic special. Definitely the content, the people involved, and at the end of the day, for me, it's always going to come down to like Hex.
Yeah.
Like no other org has that same. He's like I don't know. I don't want to say like father figure because he still acts really young with all the guys
Yeah. It's like
and
their older
everything.
brother.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like Nade Shot, he has the same vibes, but I think because he's younger, it's just a little bit different.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know. Hex just has Hex has it. Whatever it is, he's
Yeah,
got
he
it.
has the swagger. He's got the He's also humble. He's great.
He's like the perfect blend of humble but like jokingly cocky,
Yeah,
right? Like he's the
yeah, he
30-year-old
really is.
phenom. He's the best to ever done did it. But like
Yeah,
he is really humble at the same time.
yeah, 40-year-old with the greatest hair.
Yeah. That dude does have a good hairline.
He
He
does.
does have strong hair
I know
for
I'm not gonna have hair that good when I'm
ah
40.
no, dude, a lot of the men in my family are bald or balding. I'm fucked.
Same
I'm
here,
gonna
bro.
be like
Same,
Will
me too.
Johnson.
Yeah. Oh, big T, man.
Big T.
Big T.
All right. So, with everything that we've talked about so far, I gotta ask: during the inaugural season of the CDL, and
Hmm.
during the overall like dark days of OpTic, including Hex selling the majority stake, the World War II time, Infinite
Yeah.
Esports Entertainment, like all those dark days, and also last year when it was OGLA. What did you do as a fan?
Obviously, Scump is my main man, number one. So I'm always gonna stick with Scump no matter what. But I didn't hate on OGLA because I love Bruce and I love Slasher as well.
Hmm.
So yeah, honestly, over time I've become like I used to just be like hardcore OpTic, 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 but now I've come to appreciate like the hard work and the dedication of all of these professional players. So I
Yeah.
respect people and love people like Slasher as well, Prestinni, Arcitys, all those guys.
See, and then on top of that too, I'm assuming you did what the rest of us did, which is pretty much just go be a Huntsman fan.
Yep.
Which I guess for you, like if Scump went to a different org, would you have followed them or would you have went Huntsman if you had to choose?
I would still watch OpTic content, but I would want Scump to win every event,
Okay. Like at the end of the day, you
basically.
root for Scump.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. I'm
Mhm.
not too shocked by that. I feel like of anyone within OpTic, Scump is like the favorite.
Yeah.
He's been doing it the longest. I
And
think
he's
as
what
far as like
who got me
content,
into it.
not as far as like competing the longest, but
Yeah.
he produces the most content and he's been doing it for so long now that he just has a lot of fans.
Yeah, it's him and Nate that got me into it, so I'm just
Yeah.
following them all the way through.
See, for me, when you were saying like you're a fan of a lot of pros now, I think part of that is there's been a lot of players that have spent time on OpTic.
Yeah.
Like Clayster, big fan of Clayster.
Oh,
Like,
really?
I mean,
He's
like
hit or miss for me.
he used to be hit or miss for me, but over the last couple of years, I think what really did it was him in Black Ops 4 and winning
Champs.
the 1400 days deal. Like
Oh,
that
yeah.
and then winning with Empire, like he's just earned my respect and I agree with a lot of his opinions on the game and stuff as well.
Yeah.
Like yeah, he can be, classic kind of ponytail Clayster, talk some shit, like,
Yeah.
but I do have a lot of respect for him, and I think part of that also goes back to his first tenure on OpTic back in Ghost, I think, is when it was.
Oh, yeah.
He
Definitely.
straight up admitted like he grew up as like he was an OpTic fan. Like his goal was always to get into OpTic.
Yeah, I think almost every pro's goal is that.
Yeah, I think it was that. I don't know if it is now with the league, but I think prior to the league, yeah, I think everyone's goal is to at least be on OpTic for some time.
Yeah, he's built a pretty amazing legacy in COD, so I don't think he really like obviously everyone would love to be a content creator after they retire from professional play, but I
I
don't think he's
think
dying to be on OpTic now.
I think TP has done maybe the best job with that.
Yep.
Like
Oh, I was so
he,
gutted when he joined Envy. I was like, oh,
dude, oh my
OpTic should have
god,
offered the contract
I
faster.
know, I saw that and like I don't dislike Envy.
Yeah, me neither.
I've got a lot of respect. I mean, E Classico, really, and like
Yeah.
Hastro, like it just goes so far back. They're
Yeah.
in my eyes, they're always going to be like the sister clan, the sister team.
Yeah.
And same as 100 Thieves now at this point.
Yeah, they're like the brother team.
But it's like it's always going to be OpTic for me. But I support so many other players. I really like Zuma. I like Attach,
Oh yeah, I love
Clayster.
Zuma.
Like I really like 100 Thieves as a brand and organization, and a lot of that comes down to Nadeshot and his tenure with OpTic.
Yep.
Logan Dodson for his videography skills. Like
Yep.
I like Crim6. Like it's not that I mean I like him. He's a funny dude too. He's a really funny guy.
Yeah.
I probably first like started becoming a fan of him when he was doing YouTube at I think it was at the 6050 house, and he had the intros of like the different animals and shit.
Yeah.
Like I can't even
intros
think of
were
a
some of
random
the
enough
funniest
intro to like do justice.
Yeah.
Karma and Octane. Like I liked Surge last year because of Karma and Octane.
Who doesn't love Damon, bro?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Slasher, a lot of respect for him. Like
That guy's a competitor.
as much as people hate him, Doug Sensor Martin. Like
Oh, okay, that's some mixed opinions there.
I do have mixed opinions. I met him at Champs, pretty stand-up dude. Like I think
Yeah.
interacting with him in person swung it from 50-50 to like 60% of me likes him.
Mm-hmm.
But like at the end of the day, he's really good at branding himself at the very least.
Yeah.
Like may not be the best pro player, but like I just have a lot of respect for so many people in the league now.
Yeah, me too. I'm the same way. That's why that's why I'm not like if like Toronto won, I wasn't heartbroken. I was happy for Toronto, man. Bans
Yeah.
deserved that.
The Rocker with Midnight and Gary V behind them. Like
Yep.
gotta like them too.
Attach and Priesta, stand up guys.
Yeah, accuracy just disgusting.
Yeah, Iceman.
Besides the 3-piece, like
yeah,
take that
luckiest
out,
play in
he's
Call of Duty
still
ever.
insanely talented.
Yep.
Even FaZe, like when I first got into watching OpTic and stuff, it was as a sniper watching FaZe come onto the scene. I hated them, but like now I actually really respect him as an organization. I've said it before on
Yeah, me
stream
too.
or in like earlier episodes of this. Like somebody as a content team or whatever had to step out of gaming and start doing more lifestyle stuff. And
Yeah.
FaZe did that flawlessly. I'm glad
True.
OpTic didn't do it. Like I'm glad OpTic kind of stuck with gaming and stuff and COD.
Yeah, me too.
But I'm happy that somebody broke into more lifestyle stuff. Like I think if FaZe never does that, 100 Thieves maybe has a harder time
Yeah.
becoming like a streetwear company.
Hoodie org.
Um so that was a lot. That was a good segment.
Yep.
We mentioned Karma and Big Timer, which kind of leads me to the question of who is your favorite current OpTic member? It could be anybody. It could be somebody, a pro player. It could be a behind the scenes guy.
Yep.
Anybody. And then same thing, but all time. Mine are Big Timer and Karma, which is kind of what made me think of this.
Mine are Big Timer and Scump.
Nice. Big T, dude.
But I have to put Nate in there too.
I have to put D Treats in there.
Yeah. Those three. Scump, Nate, and Big T.
Big T, Karma, D Treats. If I had to pick out of, I don't know. It's always those three.
Yeah.
I feel like there's so many people that don't even know who D Treats is at this point because he fell off like. Let's see, MW2, he was huge. MW3, he made a small comeback. And then Black Ops 2, I think, is when he started to just fall off.
Yeah.
But he's pretty good at PUBG these days. So you've never been to an event.
Nope.
Something that I've asked people that have never been to an event before. If you could go to any event, what would it be? Past event wise?
I think the obvious. Oh wait, you know what?
There's a few.
So there's obviously people are bound to say IW champs, but I go Ghost X Games.
Okay.
That's my favorite event of all time.
Okay, that's a good one with the Proofy 4-piece.
Yep, that was my first time seeing OpTic win, and I was just so hyped after getting third 7,500 times.
Proofy is another player that is somewhere in my all-time list. I really like him.
OpTic Hall of Famer.
Yeah, he's just like, dude, he has such good vibes.
Yeah, one of the kindest guys ever. He really is.
Yeah. I think that's the first time I've heard X Game as a dream event, and that's a good one because, dude, that was actually a really good tournament.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, OpTic from Black Ops 2 to Advanced Warfare, they were pretty notorious for third place finishes.
And something about OpTic not being the favorites to win and winning, I loved that.
Little underdog story action.
Yep.
Yeah, and like in really good fashion.
Yeah,
like
that
it was flashy.
An insane series versus TK.
Like the Proofy 4-piece, that is just a standout memory. I think for me, like if I could choose any event, it's always going to come down to either one of the London events.
Oh yeah,
just because of how just because how hype it gets.
Yeah.
Or IW champs, because it's like you said, that's like the obvious answer. Like who wouldn't want to be?
Games and IW champs for me.
Yeah, Ghost X Games, that's a good one.
Yeah, I love that. Favorite event ever.
Yeah. Black Ops 2 champs would be cool. Just because I wasn't around for that early.
Yeah, I came in after
my first event was Anaheim 2013, which I believe was the first event after BO2 champs.
Yeah, I think that was my first two as well.
So, yeah, that one was. So I guess I did see how small the scene was back then.
Yeah.
But like, it would be cool to have gone to champs that year. And then my most recent event was champs 2019. So to like see that jump from. I mean, I guess I kind of saw it at Anaheim because I saw Anaheim 2013 and Anaheim 2019.
Yeah.
But I feel like Champs is just a different scale. Like it's
a different vibe.
Yeah. There's obviously much more on the line. Like it's overall more hype.
Yeah, that 2019 was BO4, correct?
Yeah.
Oh, that was a heartbreaker.
Yeah. That was I mean, I'm glad I went. Like,
yeah.
Who wouldn't want to go? But yeah, heartbreaker. Like, oh man. If you actually go back and like watch that match, there's so many little tiny turning points and stuff where it's like they could have won that. I don't want to say easily, obviously, because they didn't.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of really small things where it's just like,
EG
man.
didn't choke the 80-point hardpoint lead versus United.
Mm-hmm. That's what I think it's weird too. Like when you look at the brackets and stuff, it's like there's certain teams where it's like, oh, if they win and OpTic has to play a different team instead of who they ended up playing, like OpTic wipes the floor with them.
Yeah.
But also like there's momentum. Like someone said on here a couple episodes ago, like someone, I think it was like Enable said that if last year, if TJ wins the 1v1 against Envoy on the Arclov Peak SND, the round 11, like OpTic was looking so good that they maybe win the tournament.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know, momentum always plays a factor too.
Mm-hmm.
But dude, I don't know. I feel like since the league formed, it's gotten so much more competitive.
It has, yeah, ever since these young guys, Simp and Abizi, came in.
Yeah. Well, it's like Simp and Abizi, like, and limiting it to only 12 teams.
Yeah.
Like, every single team has one or two superstar players. Like, out of the 12 teams, there's only like 3 teams that are like noticeably worse.
I don't think there's any this year.
And like, that's like, and it's not even that they're noticeably worse. It's just like, okay, yeah, they're not great. Like Paris and London.
And even Paris took FaZe to game 5 in the league match.
Yeah.
So it's like,
like
you never know.
It really is starting to become like traditional sports where it's just like, okay, who shows up?
Yeah.
On any given day, anyone can win.
Yeah, like Lakers just beat the Nets. Like how? They had Kevin Durant, they had Kyrie Irving. Like
yeah. Like,
and LeBron's hurt.
I mean, the Gorillas beating FaZe.
Yeah, that.
Like, of all teams in the league, the team to beat FaZe is the Gorillas. What?
Yeah.
Like, that should have never happened.
Yep.
But
and then Toronto wins 3 series back to back in the event.
Yeah. Like, it is getting so incredibly competitive. Whereas like back in the day, especially, you know, if you've been watching since Black Ops 2, like from Black Ops 2 until Modern Warfare, there was a standout top 4 teams or top 3 teams, and then everyone else, it was like top 8. Like, yeah, you're a top 8 team, but like you do not compete with these other elite like 3 to 4 squads.
Yeah.
Now it's like anybody can win.
Yep. We got 3-0 twice back to back.
Yeah, and then came out, had a super solid few series.
Yep.
The unluckiest play in COD history against Accuracy.
Yeah, if you think about it, this past event was actually not bad for us. The
only really
team
good.
We lost to was the team that won.
Like,
and we should have beat Rocker. So
yeah, the Rocker thing, like, that's what I don't get. Like, people, I mean, especially with like all the Twitter drama around that, right?
Oh god, yeah.
Like, I think obviously the scoreboard says Rocker won, but we beat them.
Basically, yeah.
Like, we beat them. Accuracy got lucky, not to take away from the insane play, but like it's never going to happen again.
And we were up 5-3. It's not like we're going to choke 5-3s all the time.
Yeah. So it's like, I would say, you know, of that series, we did outplay them. We were the better team. They just showed up at the right moment.
Exactly. Same with Dallas.
Like, yeah. And like Dallas, dude, it's just so competitive now.
Yeah, the unfortunate stick.
Yeah.
The grenade stick. Yep. That
Like,
was unfortunate.
so I don't know. I would like to see more teams come in,
Yeah.
especially seeing like all these bench players and people coming up and stepping up. Like, a lot of the
Like if
players
they
that have
can't,
come up have actually done so good.
yeah, if they can't have 16 teams in the league right now, I just don't understand why they can't just bring the top 4 Challengers Cup event teams into the major.
Yeah. I think it's literally just a matter of like, I don't want to say funding because realistically the money could be there.
Yeah.
Like, these are all massive companies. Activision's huge. The investors that are already involved are huge. Like, you can
Yep.
pull more money if we decided to expand. I think it's more so like slow and steady wins the race. There's no reason for us to just jump up to 16 teams or 20 teams. Let's
Yeah.
kind of iron out the details of it and like make sure that we have good league format. I think not having LAN has also hurt them maybe.
Oh yeah, the news today, Len
Yeah.
coming back.
So I'm
Like,
curious if that means events are coming back or just LAN competition.
yeah, I don't know if there will be fans or not. I would prefer if there's not for the time being,
I
just for the safety of everyone.
I lean that way for more selfish reasons. Not because of the safety, but because the chance of me going to a proper OpTic opener, because OGLA's opening event, I don't count as an OpTic opener.
Yeah.
But going to like a proper OpTic opener, I really, really want to.
Yeah.
And if they decided to do that now, it would be really difficult to get time off work and everything. Like,
Mhm.
I would just need more time to plan.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that they don't return to events until, I don't necessarily want to say next year, just because I'm worried
Champs.
about roster changes.
Yeah.
Like, I would really like to see this roster on LAN in person. Like, they're disgusting. The personalities are all great. Like, I couldn't imagine a different roster.
Yeah.
The only other person in the league that I would want on our team, and this would be purely because of the personality, actually 2 people. It would be Octane.
Yep.
So I really like him. He really vibes with, I mean, he's like a big Hex fan. So I really
Yeah,
like him
my
for that
only
reason.
issue with Octane was like I used to really like Octane. It just rubbed me the wrong way when he was on OpTic and he was gaining all these Twitter followers really fast and he's like, "Oh my God, I love these fans." Then last year on a podcast when he wasn't on OpTic anymore, he was talking about how we're the most bipolar fan base and they're so toxic. I was like, "Come on,
Yeah.
man. Like you can't be on the org and say, "Oh, I love these fans," and then not be on the org and say these fans are bipolar, they're toxic." That kinda rubbed me the wrong way.
Yeah.
I don't
Which,
know.
I mean, understandable.
Yeah,
But
but I get his point, it's true.
I would say we do have some pretty toxic fans.
Yeah, it happens, yeah.
And we have some, I mean, bipolar is obviously not the right term to use, but like, out of all orgs, we probably have the worst fans when it comes to like, oh, of course, like everyone's an OpTic fan when we win, but when we lose, like you see all the ugly fans come out,
Yeah,
like all the fake fans. But like, that's not because of our, it's like OpTic's the biggest organization. We have the most fans. So that's the reason.
yeah.
Like, you're not going to have 1 million fans and 1 million of them are perfect versus 1,000 fans. And those are all like real fans.
Yeah, like, even if 90%, 99% of our fans are good and 1% are, like, not so good, the 1% are still so many that it
Yeah.
feels
And so like
like
that 1% is still
a
all
lot of
of
people.
Paris's fan base.
Exactly. Yep.
Like, yeah. So, I mean, we do have some toxic fans, but that's okay. Every team does, every organization. Like, I've been a Lakers fan my whole life. Boy, was there some people talking shit in the years that we weren't winning.
Yeah.
The later years of Kobe's career, even though he's one of the best to ever play the game, like, that's just what happens when you have large fan bases.
Exactly, LeBron gets so much hate.
Yeah. I'm not, I have such mixed feelings on LeBron. Because stat wise, like, best player to ever touch the basketball.
Yep.
Like, my biggest thing is just mentality wise, like he's just soft.
Yeah, I guess you
And
could say that.
but like I also, in the last like couple years, I've also said, him maybe being a little bit softer and whatnot, like maybe that is what has allowed him to play at this level for so long. He hasn't had as many injuries. Like maybe
Yeah.
if he does play more aggressive, like true 90s basketball era, maybe he suffers more injuries and he's not able to perform like this late in his career.
Yep.
Like he's done a good job staying healthy. But again, stat wise, like the dude is a beast.
Yeah, he is. So MJ or LeBron?
If I were picking, I'd MJ.
Okay, I respect it.
If I'm picking anybody in basketball history, Magic Johnson.
Oh, okay. I like it.
That's my MJ. If anyone listen to this, if people actually listen to this in this part and they hear me say that Magic Johnson is the best basketball player of all time, oh, that statement rubs people the wrong way.
Yeah.
I think his career got cut short with the whole HIV thing. If he actually stays and plays like he is so dominant.
He really is.
His basketball IQ is just so high. And I don't know. It could just be me being a Lakers fan.
Understandable.
But all right, let's get back to some interesting OpTic questions. All right, the last one I think I asked was the one about events and whatnot. You said Ghosts 2014.
Yep, X Games.
X Games Ghosts. Yep. Do you have or can you name your top 3 favorite moments in OpTic history? It can be from events, winning events. It could be something from a series they've done like Vision or Mexi Candy, like just of all the OpTic content that you've watched over the last 7 years.
Yeah.
What would your top 3 favorite moments be?
Definitely my favorite moment ever is the X Games win in Ghost.
Okay.
IW Champs is definitely second. And then the third is the BO3 Champs loss.
I
think that did a lot
moment?
for us. Yeah, I think that did a lot for our team. Like the way we regained and then just like destroyed everybody in IW and then won champs.
That's actually a good point. That's a good perspective. It's like we needed to get punched in the mouth.
Yeah, and it was such like that's like my
heartbreaking.
That's also the worst moment ever too for me.
Yeah.
It was so heartbreaking.
Like that is like the worst moment. That when I think
and
of
that
worst
also
moments,
makes it the best for me. Yep.
That and Full Sail Invitational, Express S&D reverse sweep.
Yeah.
Like those are 2 of my least favorite OpTic moments in history.
Yeah.
And actually another big one, if I'm thinking of least favorite, wait, who's 3-piece?
There's Lamar's 3-piece right now.
Oh.
That just happened.
Yeah, so see, for me, like it's hard to throw that in there right away because it's so recent.
Yeah.
But a big one for me is actually when they decided to drop the sniper team. That's just because my introduction to OpTic was sniping.
Yeah.
So them dropping the whole team, like it still hurts today. Like I wish they had a proper sniping team still. But like no one really, I think FaZe is the only one that still has like a sniper team.
Yeah.
But man, I was expecting IW champs. That's like that's the freebie.
Yeah, that's a freebie.
I was not expecting BO3 champs.
Yeah.
Way to throw me a curveball.
And then I'll give an honorable mention to picking up Dashy. That guy, dude.
Dude, Bruce is fun to watch.
I can't even like fathom the things he does on the map.
So I think my top 3 favorite moments change like every episode. Which I'm fine with. Like it originally started with, okay, here's my top 3 moments, and then by episode 2 I changed them. I was like, you know what? I'll give myself the ability as host of this podcast. I get to make the rules, right? So I try to just kind of name 3 different moments every time.
Yeah.
Just because, like, I don't know, it's kind of fun to like get some nostalgia going and think of different moments in OpTic history. Speaking of Dashy, I'll go ahead and throw Dashy's 5-piece in from BO4.
Yeah, and then TJ's 6, 7
Uh,
piece, right? Like back to back to back to back.
yeah, the Dashy 5-piece, like, I still think that's probably my favorite crowd moment in crowd
Yeah,
history. Like, you just hear it ramp up.
yeah,
Um,
it was.
that one's
Yeah.
solid. One that I always do mention is Scump's 3-piece on Aftermath S&D to take out complexity.
Yep.
BO2 champs.
Same Celium and Scump 1v1.
Ooh,
That was lit. That was lit.
that was good.
And you know one of the most underrated ones ever?
OpTic Van.
OpTic versus Unilad on Valkyrie Hardpoint. The 100-point comeback. And then Scump and Methods got up and screamed. It was one of the most hype moments ever for me.
BO3, right?
That was World War II.
Or was that okay? See, I watched almost nothing of World War II.
You need to go back and watch that moment.
I took that whole year off of competitive, to be honest.
Yeah,
which
understandable.
Like, I think it was. I don't even think it was because, like, you know, we obviously had a pretty shit year.
Yeah,
but like, I think it was a combination of that, change in ownership, being busy with life. Like, there's a lot going on that year to where I ended up not watching it that much.
I've never taken a break from watching, but I took a break from playing in IW.
Yeah.
I did not play
I've
IW.
taken a few breaks from watching, and it's not even breaks from watching. It's just like, I'm too busy to watch all these matches. It takes a lot of time.
There's a lot.
Man, what was I was gonna name one for top 3. It was the
Arma's S&D save?
No, I was gonna go with the Big Mac challenge with Nade Shot and Flame Sword. Mike's already taken 4 bites.
No bullshit. That was so funny.
That one, I don't think I've named that one before, but like, it's such a good moment.
Yeah, it is.
Like, Mike's already bullshit. Dude, Big T's commentary on it makes it so good, and like the way that Nade Shot just immediately starts choking on his food.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
the funniest.
That's
COD
definitely
member ever, bro.
That is definitely one of the most funny.
Big T is amazing.
Dude, you see Big T, you gotta leave a like. That, and then I think I mentioned this one in like episode 2 maybe or 3, but it was from a day in the life video of Nade. I'm pretty sure this was actually during Ghosts. They get in the van or whatever. They're going to, I almost want to say it was going to X Games. And Nade Shot's vlogging and he points the camera in Big T's face and he's like, say something funny, man.
Yeah.
And Big T just goes, dude, this is the life I signed up for, you know? He's like, I'm not just going to say something funny every time a camera's on me. And like a couple seconds later, he's like, you know, you got money, fame, bitches. Like, dude.
Remember the April Fool's video where they were sending Formal to Halo and bringing Big T on?
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
That was amazing.
Dude. They've done, I think Big T has been pretty consistent on April Fool's videos. Or Valentine's Day. There's a lot of good memories.
What a guy. Yeah.
What a guy, dude. Have you met anyone inside of OpTic? I guess no, you haven't been to an event.
Yeah.
Well, if you could meet one person, who would it be? And this is a 2-part question. But first, just if you could meet anyone within OpTic, who would it be? Scump. All right.
Yep.
Is it the same answer if you get the option to like hang out with them for a full day?
Yep.
So okay. See, that one my answers change. And usually I always tell people Hex is off limits. I didn't mention it because I figured your answer would be Scump.
Yeah.
See, for me, it's like if I can meet one person, like I've met a few people now, but it's just like for quick signatures or like a picture or something. I don't think I've met Big T yet. Actually, I know for a fact I haven't because there's no way I'm meeting him and not getting a picture.
Yeah.
But if I get to hang out with someone, Hex jumps up on the list pretty quickly.
Definitely, yeah.
And Blake jumps on the list pretty quickly.
From TSD?
Yeah. So, I mean, Big T as well. But it's like if I get to hang out with him for a whole day, like Big T's first chunk of his day, he's just trading stocks the whole time.
Yeah, he's a homebody.
Yeah. So it's like, as funny as he is and everything, hanging out with him for a day, I don't think is as good as hanging out with some of the other guys. Hex
Yeah.
would be cool, dude. I'd be eating some freaking good Mexican food, hanging out with his dogs, Henry the Great. Get some of the dog accessories that Liv and Jude have been working on. Yeah, I can't wait for those. I've been nagging her about it. So Scump and Scump are your answers.
Yep.
Not too shocked. Do you have a favorite series that OpTic has done? It could be Vision. It could be Smooth Competition.
Okay.
It could be Trivia. Like literally any series that they've done.
Easiest answer of my life. OpTic Craft.
Ooh.
Syndicate. Hex. Nade. Those times were Big T.
Dude.
Oh my.
Easiest answer of your life. I like that it was that easy and that it wasn't Vision.
Yeah,
because the
that's
easy
the
answer
obvious
for everyone is Vision.
Vision, yeah.
For me, hunting OpTic is pretty high up on that list.
Yeah.
And for all the reasons you gave, actually. Like, was OpTic Craft the name of the series they did right after Hunting OpTic, where they had all the different levels?
I don't
Do you
really
remember
know
that
all the names. I
series?
just remember the ones I liked the most were the Courage and Syndicate ones, where Courage and Syndicate were playing with Hex and Nade Minecraft.
See, so they did a series. I meant to go back and watch it. But it was like right after Hunting OpTic. It was after everyone was pretty familiar with Minecraft at this point.
Yeah.
And they basically had different levels. There's like level 1, level 2, and they were like little biomes that they had to make their way through in order to progress to the next one or something. I need to go find it. It was pretty good, at least in the time. I don't know if it'd still be good if I went back and watched it.
Yeah, Syndicate and Nade
be.
destroying each other's bases all the time.
Dude, always little sneaky attacks and
Such
shit.
a good time. Yeah.
I love how trolly Syndicate is too. Like, dude, I love that Syndicate will like leave signs and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, dude, that guy cracks me up.
Yeah.
I think that's it as far as questions go. If you haven't been to an event, man, you need to go to one.
I definitely do.
Something's gonna have to happen. If you could, like, what's the easiest event do you think for you to go to?
A Toronto home series.
Shit, yeah. That makes a lot of sense, actually. I didn't even think about that. In my head, I'm like, there's no events in Canada, but there is.
You have the Toronto.
Dude, that would be cool. Dude, the freaking the venue.
Yeah.
That was it 2025 is when it's coming?
I think so. I don't
think. Dude, that place looks insane.
Yeah.
Like, oh man. It looks absolutely incredible. That's something that go ahead.
Isn't there a new arena also in like Los Angeles?
I don't know. All I know is the US is pretty bad when it comes to like cool architectural buildings and shit. It's like, oh, you need a big building? What if we just go up and make it tall? I feel like that's what we're good at.
And curvy.
But like, dude, that Toronto one looks so badass.
Yeah.
I feel like, I don't know. I feel like a London. I want to know where they would do theirs. I'm not familiar enough with buildings in Europe and stuff.
Here, I looked it up here. It says SoFi Stadium is apparently the name of it, the new arena.
The one that they're building, or?
Yeah, the one that just got built, I think.
Okay. You know which one I'm talking about, right? That was the... Wait, what was the one what was it called? How do you spell it?
SOFI Stadium. SoFi Stadium.
Oh, is that the one in
Inglewood, California.
Inglewood?
Looks pretty cool.
Oh, it's the new Ram Stadium.
Yeah.
All right. That's not bad.
Looks pretty cool. Yeah.
That's not bad. It's still, dude, it's nothing like that Toronto. Dude, that one just looks so sick. Like, I don't even remember what it was called. I'll have to look it up. I just remember they put out like the little video that was like all the renders of it.
Might be the Rogers Center.
It was, the Ultra tweeted it at one point, but it's probably hard to find.
It might be the Rogers Center. I don't know.
Let's see and try to
But
find
who
it
would
real
have
quick.
thought? Who would have thought Toronto Ultra would win an event in 4v4 COD with a European team, a full European?
Dude, yeah, like
That's crazy,
that's insane.
unimaginable. Bro.
All right, I think that's pretty much it. I just went through my list to see if I missed any questions or anything that we didn't already get to, and I think we got them all. Well, if you ever go to an event, if I'm there, or if anyone that is listening to this is there, one of the cool things that I like about this podcast is because we talk about a lot of OpTic stuff and whatnot. Like if you ever go to an event and you meet someone and they've been on here, you're going to have a lot of context as to, you know, who they are, their story with OpTic. Like you're just going to have a lot more to go off of than, oh, we're both OpTic fans.
That's a great way to think about it. Yeah.
Like I didn't think of it until the first episode with Mondo. Like after that one, I was like, okay, this is actually going to be a lot cooler than I thought. Like I'm actually going to know, like, you know, in a year or so, or like after I've done like 50 of these or 100 of these or something, like I feel like I'm going to know a lot of people. And the other cool thing that I think of too is like, if anyone within OpTic ever listens to this, they're going to know their fans a lot better. And then if you ever meet, you know, Scump at an event, right? Say there's a Toronto home series and you're like, hey, I'm that dude that's been modding for you for like 3 or 4 years. Like, I mean, I'm sure he probably already feels like he knows you a little bit because you've been modding for so long.
Yeah.
But if you ever listen to this, I don't know, he'll have a little bit more to go on.
Yep.
It's, I don't know. I like it. I like talking to people. I like OpTic.
Yeah, this was awesome.
It's definitely cool meeting new people. Especially, I've recorded a lot of episodes in the last, like, not a lot. This is, I think, like the 4th one I've recorded in the last like week and a half or so. Just trying to space them out so I can keep it consistent. Yeah. But
and also, we always me and my friends always need one for league play. So if you're ever down,
dude, I have not touched COD in probably about a month. Part of that is because I don't have a ton of friends that like Cold War. Everyone likes Warzone, and dude, Warzone just drives me nuts.
Yeah, I can't play Warzone. I'm a league play guy through and through.
I like it because it makes sense. Like, there's almost no randomness in league play. Yeah, you'll sometimes get that off spawn or something, or like a lucky
or that
nade.
LC10 guy.
But yeah, but like it's predictable 90% of the time. You said you're northwest, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm west. I'm top of California, so
not bad.
Connection would maybe not be trash.
Yeah, one of my friends is also from
I'm pretty buns currently, but maybe I'll have to get back into it.
What rank? Elite?
I don't know. The first when they first dropped it, I was put into, I think, Elite 2.
The first one doesn't even matter, bro. Awakening got put into competitor.
Yeah.
That makes no sense.
I haven't played since the because what's it reset like every
3 there's a new event every 3 days.
Every 3 days? Oh shit.
Yeah, so it changes quick.
Damn, that is quick.
3 days and 4 days. 3
How
days
do you like it compared to World War II ranked?
I think it's horrible. World War II rank was amazing. See, it's the best league play we've ever had.
As much as I don't like World War II as a game, And as
Yeah.
much as we like to put Black Ops 2's league play system in the limelight and on a pedestal,
Yep.
World War II did the best job when it came to actually doing a ranked mode.
100%.
Like, I don't know if it was ELO based, but it was pretty damn close.
Yeah, they built it well off of the AW one.
Yeah.
The AW one was pretty nice, and then they just improved on it.
Like, and I think honestly a big part of that is Rambo.
Yeah.
Like,
Sledgehammer Games did a good job.
yeah. Dude, are you looking forward to World War II Vanguard, assuming that
I
information is
am.
true?
I actually am. Yep.
I am not. Like,
I think the rank play could be really good.
I see, that would make sense because that's like, I'm assuming pretty much all you do.
Yep, that's all I do. I don't play pubs.
Yeah.
Unless I'm trying to go for camos.
Like,
which I don't do either.
that makes sense. But like, for me, I like modern time frames or slightly futuristic.
Yeah.
And like, I don't want slightly futuristic and you give me specialist and all this other fancy shit. Like, no. I just want some guns that feel like they were made after the year 2000.
Okay.
Cold War, that's probably the oldest I'm comfortable going. World War, I can't do World War I, dude. I tried Battlefield 1. That shit was terrible. They had people on horses with swords.
Oh no.
That was trash. World War II, I feel like is just a hair better. Like, all the guns feel slow. They feel sluggish. It could also just be like my experience with World War I, or not World War I, but the first World War II game. Yeah, it just felt sluggish. Like, obviously the colors were super dull. Like, someone just put grayscale on the whole map. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
If they can make it with, I mean, the maps weren't terrible as far as like map design goes.
Yeah, they were just too simple 3-lane maps. They need to be more complex.
They need a little bit more, like, the little alleyways that connect to the lanes.
Exactly.
They need more little tricks and stuff. Dude, you know what map I actually really miss? For no reason, this map has been like in my head for the last year. I just want it back.
Which one?
Meltdown SND. BO2.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, I think everyone wants it back, honestly.
And like,
Standoff and Meltdown SND need to come
but it's like, why Meltdown? Like, Standoff is a better option. I think Warhawk from Ghost is a better option. I think Sovereign from Ghost is a better option.
Yeah.
Express, I actually don't care for Express.
I like it.
Like, it's not terrible. I think I just have bad memories from Full Sail.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know why Meltdown of all maps. I feel like it's not that great of a map. But at the same time, it has a lot of really good plays.
It's a really great SND map.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think it's because it was a multi-level, like multi-tiered 3-lane map.
Yeah.
It's 3 lanes, but you had a lot of little interconnecting things. Yeah, like the tunnel in bottom center.
Yeah.
It's like you almost had 2 center lanes because of that.
Yep.
Like, it was a solid map.
Yeah, that bomb site where Karma Ninja defused, it was like
The one
like
in the
a
little
maneuver
silo thing or whatever.
around that. Yeah.
Yeah, like the way the
maneuver in that bomb
staircase.
site.
Like, there's 3 ways that you can get into that bomb site. No, 5 ways technically.
Yeah.
Because you can come through center, and then on each side, you could either go up the stairs or up the ladder.
Yep.
So it's like, dude, imagine that with today's version of like
Side
Codcaster.
Oh, okay.
But like,
Yeah, and the movement would make
just like
for amazing
because the
gunfight.
Codcaster, like the way it outlines people now, because Ghost was the first one that did it, so we didn't get the outlines in Black Ops 2. You just had mini map to go off of. Like, dude, imagine watching with the outlines, maneuvering that bomb site. That would be insane. 1v1s and stuff. Oh man. I don't know. World War II Vanguard, if it doesn't play as sluggish, if the movement is smooth, and it has better maps and more colorful maps, and if we can find a way to bring snipers back into competitive, dude, having snipers G8 this year is driving me nuts.
I don't mind it, but I definitely want them back.
I like having a sniper presence on the map. I feel like it leads to some really cool clips.
Yeah, plus we have 2 insane snipers on our team.
And we do have 2 nutty snipers. Like, and I feel like that's one of the reasons that it's so competitive this year.
Yeah.
Is because, like, actually, I was going to say who on FaZe would snipe, but you've got Alec.
Simp.
Oh, that's right. Simp is I forget about that because, like, most of the time it's your main AR is the one that picks up a sniper.
Yeah.
And then you have Simp, who's this cracked out SMG.
His pistol is an SMG.
And then he picks up the sniper and he's equally disgusting.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think of, like, the different teams, if there's any that don't have a great sniper. I don't know all the rosters off the top of my head, though.
LAG. Assault, Silly, Apathy, and Vivid. No one's really an insane sniper.
Yeah. I don't know who I'd put it in the hands of.
Probably Silly.
Silly? I don't know. See, I feel like if snipers were in a good enough place for them to be a presence in this game, you would see a little bit more diversity when it comes to, like, how competitive the teams play.
Yeah.
I feel like some teams would stand out a little bit more and some teams would fall behind a little bit more.
Yep.
So I guess
I think
maybe
our
it's
map
not
pool would
great
be
for
better.
competitive integrity. I don't know. I think it would help us in SND. Like, getting an early pick. Like, we already have done so much better in stage 2 than stage 1.
Yeah.
Add on an early pick every once in a while.
And after the event loss, Envoy tweeted out, "I need to be more consistent." And then if he's doing that, then we should be looking pretty nice.
Yeah. Need to be more consistent. Dude, Envoy is, like, the way that you said, like, watching Dashy on the map and, like, the insane things he does, I feel like that's how I feel when it comes to Envoy. Like, dude, the way
I always reply to Envoy's tweet saying he's the smartest player in the league.
Dude, the way that he navigates, like,
genius.
He just incisive, incisive. I mean, incisive. Episode 3, he said it really well. He was like, it's like he has a freaking bird's eye map or a bird's eye view of the map. The way he navigates it,
bro.
It's this damn keyboard and mouse backwards ass headset coming back. Dude, you see Turtle Beach freaking engineered a headset backwards for him?
Damn, that's cool.
Did you see that?
No.
Yeah, dude, he put a video out. Like, they sent him a specially designed headset that had the speaker wires flipped.
That's awesome.
Like, dude, that's a badass sponsor. Like, hats off, Turtle Beach.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You're a Twitch affiliate. At the end of every show, at the end of every episode, I give the guest a Hot Ones moment to pretty much self-promote themselves or anybody, or just say whatever you want. So have at it. Where can people find you? Do you make content, actually, for one? Outside of streaming, do you do any content?
No, so I don't do any content. I just stream and barely, but I'm gonna start becoming more consistent now because my semester is over. So twitch.tv/Momobroh, MOMOBROH, and exact same on Twitter, twitter.com/Momobroh, and that's the 2 places you can find me.
Do you have an interest in doing content?
Honestly, no, because I'm studying for my accounting degree, so the max I think I'm gonna do is just stream whenever I can.
Gotcha.
Other than that, once I get done though, I'm definitely gonna capitalize on that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So a final question here. One, you said accounting.
Yep.
Is it something like you're pretty interested in doing, or did you just like throw a dart on a map and you landed on accounting?
It's a combination of my family thinking it's a good idea, and
I mean, I think it is a good career option.
Yeah, it is.
The way my brothers always put it, everything, no matter whether the economy's up or down, like, something's got to be accounted for.
Exactly. So yeah, the money's good, and I like the subject. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
You like numbers?
Yeah. Hopefully, an esports org needs an accountant, or a player needs like a money manager. So
Actually, something I didn't ask that I normally do when it comes to OpTic. If you could join OpTic in any way, shape, or form, how would you want to be involved and why? Obviously, you're a mod for a couple people already in OpTic.
Yeah.
But like, if you could properly join OpTic in any way, shape, or form, what would it be?
And I would say just a streamer. I'd love to be in their, those what's it called, trivia videos, and then just social media manager in some
Gotcha.
way.
The reason I
Yeah.
asked, you said, if you could be an accountant for an esports org, and I went, that's an oddball. Like,
Yeah, and
there,
that. Yeah.
everyone thinks, when it comes to joining an org, everyone I feel like always thinks content creator first. Like they think, oh, I want to be a streamer, I
Yeah.
want to be a YouTuber for them, or I want to be a pro player for them.
Yeah.
But like, there's a lot of jobs involved with organizations that are behind the scenes.
Exactly. Yep.
Like you could be the
Like
accountant,
it's a
you could be
worldwide org.
the social media manager, you could be the, if an org, I don't think any org does a proper written content right now. But
Yeah.
like if you're really good at copy, like you could do blog posts for an organization.
Yeah, agent for a professional player.
Yeah, like there's a lot of, because when I think of it for myself, as much as I would love to be a content creator and streamer and just be able to like have a good time and stream and play games and like not have to worry about anything else,
Yeah.
I'd have an equal or maybe even a stronger interest in being like a videographer for an org.
Yeah.
It'd be really cool to be that guy behind the camera and like capture every single moment.
Yep.
Like it
Makes sense.
is really cool when you saw the the rocker accuracy clip and like there was the perspective of Hitch on the couch like watching the stream, and then you could see all the players get up frustrated and heartbroken, and he's still watching because it hasn't happened for him yet.
Yeah,
And
Dashy's reaction.
in the background you see Roger with the camera.
Yeah.
So it's like, dude, I cannot wait to see that footage from his camera.
Roger tweeted out, "It's not always fun putting people on camera."
Yeah.
Because it was such a heartbreaking moment.
Like as painful as that is, like that's the footage that leads you to Crossroads.
Yeah, it's a legendary.
Like, heartbreaking episode of Vision. But it's like without that footage, it would not be the same.
Yep.
The picture of Formal sitting on the ground, right? Like,
yep.
So I think that like I said, I think I have a maybe even a bigger, at least equal, if not bigger interest in doing that for an org.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah. All right. So let's shout it out one more time. You can find him on Twitch and Twitter at Momobroh, MOMOBROH.
Yep.
I'm assuming stream schedule is not the most consistent currently with school and everything.
Oh, definitely not, but it's about to start getting consistent.
But hey, if you guys go over to that Twitch right now and you turn on your notifications, no matter if it's inconsistent or not, you're going to be notified every time it goes live.
Exactly.
Boom.
Great point.
All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let's hit him with the outro music. Also, shout out to LuvFromPluto. Make sure to check the links in the description below. If you're on Anchor, Spotify, anywhere, the links are there in the description for the episode. So you guys can check out more music from LuvFromPluto. And that's going to do it. I'll see you guys on the next one. I'm out. Peace.